Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 9, Episode 10 of The Walking Dead. Now, this episode had some interesting things, and...
Yeah, you know, whatever.
I know how I would do certain things, and I enjoy...
Hold on. Do you mean from a filmmaking perspective or in real life?
Real life.
Oh, good.
As far as the filming techniques of the episode, nothing was egregious to me. Did something jump out at you as something that
Egregiously
was
bad, you
offensive?
mean?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff in the flashbacks, I wasn't quite clear what was happening or whatever.
That was all intentional because the flashbacks were of a broken mind. It took me a few seconds for context clues, and I realized it like a few minutes before it was revealed the way it was. It was
what
actually
was your
happening.
tip off or whatever?
The tattoo.
Okay.
I just judging these people, and you know what else threw off the memories? So we're talking about the flashback now. So the flashback,
we are having flashbacks.
What made the flashback
Lydia, the captured
awkward
Skinner.
was that the dad with beard and without beard looks like 100% a different person.
Thank you.
And so that alone throws you,
Yep.
and especially when you're thinking about a lot of the things in context about what you had known about them previously, about like, oh well, he was a bad person, blah blah blah, but that was really the mom brainwashing the kid into thinking these things. You think, oh, the dad might already have left. That might just be some guy in there taking care of you, and like I was like, okay,
sure.
When she's tracing the tattoo line, though, on this beardless man, you're like, oh, okay, that's clearly the dad.
Yeah.
And then when a couple of things happen, you start realizing, and the mom's hair gets cut and stuff, you're like, okay, no. Really, that statement was, I only had this because of you, blah, blah, blah. And the dad didn't cut the beard. It was the mom cut off her hair in that scene.
Sure, yeah.
And that stuff jumps forward. And you very quickly realize how crazy the fucking mom is. And, She lost a significant amount of weight from the flashback to the present day, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really good flashback thing.
Okay,
because
sure.
And like some of that could be influenced by the fact that like her hair went from like close cropped to skin, and like that makes you look a little more gaunt.
Yeah, and she's got different makeup and costuming and all that stuff that could have.
But I was like, okay,
that's
that's a good transformation.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that happened character-wise in this episode is really dumb.
Great.
Like almost all of the things.
Okay.
So like
I can't even think of anything that happened character-wise in this episode.
Just to jump off on a couple, and this is we can just mention them and spring back around.
Some stuff, whatever.
All right, we got to go look for Luke and other person.
Oh,
because
is that this episode?
It's the middle of the night.
That was the worst shit ever.
Like this one's deaf, and that one might be deaf. I forget what they established on this character, But yeah, we should probably go in the dark where we can't see our only sense that is useful. Perfect. So that was the dumbest shit ever. And then it gets dumber when they're like, no, we should go back. I can't leave him. He found me. Something.
Awful.
Okay, we'll split up. The two people that can hear, they'll go home, and you guys stay out here.
So like
what?
So like the one person who I think had said, I'll stay with my sister.
Yeah.
So that's a girl. I thought that was that.
Oh no, they're girls.
That was a guy. For some reason. Whatever. Point is, the one person can hear. The black one can hear. The other one is 100% deaf.
The younger one can hear. The older one cannot.
I don't know what looks young or old to you.
The one you thought was a guy can hear.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes. Okay. Walking this back slightly, we are searching for Luke and Alden.
Yes.
Right.
Who have been in the previous episode we saw led into a trapping.
From the arrows, trail ends here.
Yeah.
All right. They find a horse, but it's been cut open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Evidence of something happening. Tara, who I have not loved as a character, makes the most reasonable decision a character on The Walking Dead has ever made. She's like, we're going back. And they go, no, we have to, we can cover more ground, we'll split. She's like, no, we're going back, right? And I was like, oh, that's wonderful. Like, you found some evidence of like, of something, and now you're going back. And I was like,
because their party was not large.
No.
And you don't know how many people you're up against.
Right.
So, yes, we're going back.
So we're actually going back. And then they actually do. Someone says, well, she's like, we will. And they go back. And then they cut to them, having gone back. And that was great. I was so happy. And then I became so sad because some of them went out without her. And then they were like, you know what, it's dark, this isn't good, we should go back. And I'm like, okay, kind of weird to do the same trick twice, but I guess you want to prove how reasonable all these people are. And then two of them stay, and it's the dumbest thing ever.
The two least capable of defending themselves are the ones that stay.
Yeah, like I think doing anything at night is like entirely unreasonable
especially
in the
if
world of
you
The
are
Walking
unfamiliar with the areas,
Yes.
which they are.
Right.
And like they don't have any guns. They have the ability to. So two of them use slingshots. One of them uses a knife, and one of them uses a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow at the largest packed quiver has like 20 shots.
It's a bad decision.
The knife thrower is
Yeah.
literally giving away her weapons. And then like your slingshot, it is is decent. Up close, not the best weapon to be stuck with.
No, and I feel like for millions of years, humans have been like, let's do that in the morning, because it's not good to do that at night. It's dark.
Generally, yes.
And like zombies are sometimes quiet, hard to know that that there's one right on the other side of that tree or something like that.
They're generally very quiet. Yeah.
They're not doing anything to be alive or make noise until something startles them or wakes them up. It's been demonstrated 100 times.
Yeah.
So they should know that.
And they've been around through the entirety of the apocalypse. So they're not new to this.
No. So this is ridiculous.
I understand trying to find a friend. And
Yeah.
if there was not hidden zombie warrior people, I might even be a person that says, okay, we'll go out.
Let's risk it.
And you might even be able to get a large group coming with you because yes, that's a thing.
Yeah, that was the thing too, where I was like, does everyone know about the the situation right now? I feel like they would have gone back to camp and told them all, right? So
I would assume they
so
all
they
know
must
now,
know.
yeah.
But like even those newbies to like the group have to know about all that, right? It's not like they
Well,
just,
the newbies to the group were there when they discovered it.
Okay, right. A few of them were actually out there. The
Yeah, so
bow
they
chicks
know.
out there, so they all know. They should absolutely know that this is absolutely not okay.
Indeed.
Then the episode chooses to show you. I wrote down stupidest decision ever, by the way.
Okay.
So then the episode chooses to show you zombies and or fake zombies in the woods, like right near where they are, as if to imply that something bad's going to happen to them. And then it doesn't matter at all, because the next morning at what looks to be like 11 a.m. or something, it's not even the early morning. They couldn't film in the early morning or whatever. They're like coming back. Tara sent out people to get them, and they're just coming back.
They're coming back, and they're not together, though, which is also the dumbest shit ever. You're like, okay, so why did you leave the deaf girl in the back, the far back,
and they're not
far enough away that you're meant to think she didn't make it? Like,
yes, and like you're not together enough that it causes some contrived stupid plot thing to happen. Yes, I hate all that so much. Thank you. So, we're on the same page.
So that was dumb as shit. And now we get to the next point where I'm like, well, I know what I would do in this scenario. So they're coming back. They have enough time for 3 of the people to come back in. The deaf girl has to take cover into the corn, and like, what would you say, 15 or so, like zombie
20, whatever,
clad people. Yeah, 20 at most.
Yeah.
Are turning the way. At this moment, the person says like, I just want my daughter, or some bullshit like that. Me? If this is me, and it might not be the wisest thing, because I know that there's potentially an encampment of them somewhere else. It could be large numbers. They might have
hostages.
They might have my people. I would go, zombies! And I would just mow them down. And they'd be dead.
Sure.
And I would have killed the head of the snake, and we'd see what happens. And presumably, based on trailers and stuff, we know there's a bigger head on this snake. But from what I know right now, what we can presume as a group is that
I didn't see this trailer. What are you talking about?
We've seen Pocket Watch McZombie.
Oh,
who we
God.
We can assume is actually the head.
I don't even know if that's really a thing anymore.
I don't know. But
okay,
from where we stand in reality of the show, we have assumed that the mother is the head of the.
She seemingly is.
Also, being that she's the only one not wearing a mask, you know she's in charge of this group at least.
Yeah, there's something going on, right? So like, I completely agree with you. For like the opposite reason, why would they think that like Luke and Alden are not with them with like hostage or whatever, right? Like, there's no reason for them to walk up to this camp and just assume that they can even talk to anyone. What if that camp's policy is shoot anything that approaches that is not something that you know?
That would be my policy.
That seems like a good policy. Seems like a winning policy in the apocalypse.
That's how you stay behind walls, is that you don't let things get close to your walls.
Basically.
Yeah.
And like, again, like best case scenario, maybe there's some parlay or trade or some position, right? But you're choosing to walk up with 19 of the 20 of you wearing zombie masks. So like,
yes, not even
the policy would always be
guns that I could notice.
Yeah, the policy would always be to kill the zombies that approach.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And again, it's all filmed, and the music and the angles and like the shots as if to be like, this is our scary new enemy, and like
It is not scary in the daytime at all.
You're fighting this really uphill battle for me to begin with, and then like this type of stuff happens, and I'm not
like
really.
It is
not on board.
psychologically scary that I'm like, they're wearing dead people's faces. Like if that's something you do on the daily just for fun, like what are you capable of? You're certainly
Sure.
capable of things that I may not be willing to do, but I would never even know you were a person in a mask. I would have shot you in the brain from so far away. They have automatic weapons. I assume the people that are on guard duty have them at the ready.
Even if we construct a scenario where it's been 6 years since like the war and bullets are so scarce and we only have all of the other weapons that we all have, right? It's still so dumb to be so outnumbered outside of a castle. Like getting rid of like like most guns just takes you back to like the medieval times.
Yes,
and
which we do have in a lot of our people.
And you're just this group of people. Yeah, people have spears and bows and arrows and slings and all these weaponry, right? And they have the high ground, and like they have a doctor in there. Like, what is your plan? It's so dumb. All right.
I thought it was dumb too. Was in the last episode, I didn't call it out when she's like, when Luke goes, "These are whatever fucker names are arrows. I've seen her made 100 of these," and I'm like, what? People, you know how hard it is to make an arrow?
Well, she's a bowsmith. She has crafting, wood crafting,
but
level
it's
52.
one of those things where, depending on the region you're in,
she's like whittling the arrows. Yes.
Like the wood you need to do things with, and the idea that she's making these perfect arrows. It just seems
I'm okay with that.
Unlikely.
I feel like Daryl makes arrows. They find feathers.
No,
they like make
Daryl
the
doesn't
arrow
make
or
arrows.
whatever. No.
No, Darius has bolts.
Okay.
No, the idea of making arrows.
Can't make an arrow.
It's so difficult that I read a thing in like England that whole tree went extinct because they were the good trees for arrows, because arrows are so notoriously hard to make.
I've never made an arrow. I have no idea.
I can't imagine it. But in this episode, back to where we are, somehow they are allowed to speak and they get close enough, and it just seems so unlikely that I would allow anything remotely like that to happen. And Daryl's there. I feel like me and Daryl think alike on a lot of these things, and he should have been mowing these motherfuckers down.
Well, and like this is our cliffhanger. This is our like thing, right? We are meant to spend an entire week worried about this situation.
Yeah, I'm not
right?
worried.
Tara's face is all concerned, all that stuff like that. And I'm like, I hope the next line that she's able to say
before
from down
dying,
there, Alpha, right, is like, if we don't get back by sundown, they're gonna kill your people. I want my person, trade or whatever, right? Whatever it is, something like that.
I would have to wonder how many more would there even have to be out there for me to even think this was a threat.
I know.
Because almost all of the things they do are either in the walls or right outside the walls. It wouldn't be that hard to patrol and police your area and like eventually whittle off any attacker, you know?
Of the fake zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what weapons they it's not like when you're fighting Negan, it's like they have a minigun and some fucking crazy shit that fires like 7.7 ammo that rips through 4 people at a time.
Yeah.
Like they're just dudes
again,
in a mask.
There was a way to do this, I feel like, where they're crazy cultists and something's happening and like trade routes get intercepted and weird things start happening, things go missing, horses die, like things happen. There's like a strange herd that right? Even given all of our setup, right? If we just hadn't met them, hadn't met Lydia, hadn't done this whole thing, and just they kept having problems and all that, right? You could have had the communities have an excuse to get together and compare notes and say we have to form, we have to reopen the channels of communication temporarily to fight this bigger threat, right? And the show might do all these things, but they've chosen to open with this captured character telling her whole story, finding out about this woman, doing all these things.
Yeah, not the way I would have done it.
Like, the only winning thing here was for them to be like mysterious and for us to not know how it works or what they're capable of and all that stuff.
If I was in charge of the writing for this show, we would have picked back up last season when we would have had mysteriously people disappearing, and it wouldn't have been Oceanside. It would have been these zombie people killing things, and you would have gone forward to it would have been very similar to what you're saying, where you would have had slowly people getting picked off in between things. Maybe have a whole we haven't heard from blah blah in so long, and they get there and like Oceanside is gone, and you're like, what
Sure.
the fuck?
Yeah,
they're all dead.
Start cleaning up these loose
Yeah.
ends by doing that
Or
stuff.
you do a flip side where like you know, people are generally welcomed into the kingdom or whatever. The zombies take off their masks. They all slowly assimilate in there and slowly kill it from inside.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you have a thing where they are these crazy, and I keep using the word cult, but I feel like Lydia's peppered some stuff in. Like that's how it works. We have to be like them. We have to live like them. If anything happens, they just leave you because that's the thing. You know,
Yeah, only we can't really trust anything she said because they're not leaving her.
But like the zombies are the future, and like that's just how life is now, and all that stuff, right? Whatever, right? You can come up with a thing that makes sense to them. That's crazy, and that's how the world is now, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do, I feel like, with stuff, but whatever, it's fine. I feel like their ability to control or like direct
to whip up
zombies
a herd,
and herds of zombies was like the crucial thing. I think that the mysteriousness of them hiding amongst zombies was like the good thing, right? And like you said, the broad daylight shots of the goofy masks with not everyone's even putting like black stuff like around their eyes, right? It's just like yeah, it's a whole thing.
They had to get that shot done quick. The makeup artist can only go so fast.
Yeah, on a show whose like selling point is like the makeup.
Yeah,
we can't do this makeup well.
But it's kind of like anything else, where like think about like you're at Comic-Con. Some cosplay sucks, and
it should
it's
not
like it's affecting their lives.
It should not look like cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is cosplay where if you don't have that split second of like, holy shit, what is that a zombie? You die, right?
Yeah.
They instantly know that they have to shoot you first because you're not the zombie, because you just have clean hands and you're holding a thing, right? Yeah, I know. No, so logistically it's a nightmare, but I could have bought it if like it felt creepy and good enough, right? If I could have got on board with like the stuff or whatever, right? Before we get into the main plot of this episode, a quick note that Negan is not brought up at all.
Yeah.
They're out there, presumably Judith and Negan are on their way back because she shot his motorcycle.
Or they were already back forever ago and it's just never went over.
And we're not going to do anything with that at all.
We'll pick back up in 2 episodes. It's like,
he's just back in his cell.
He's been back for 3 days. Like.
Okay, so that would be awful. I hope they don't do that. But I'm not even looking forward to whatever they choose to do when they pick up on Negan, if they're on the way home and something happens.
I would almost assume that is definitely it, because how far away would they even have been? Because Judith got there on foot before it was even remotely dark. So she had to have been able to walk back before the next day.
I don't trust the logistics of the show at all, but I agree with you. So I'm saying, like, I hope it's not that, because I'm assuming also that that's what it is. That we're meant to just think like that chapter is closed or whatever. That's so upsetting.
Yeah, you should be upset.
Okay, so a few episodes from now, I'm going to go on a long rant about how they totally wasted Negan's escaping. I'm going to try to Google and figure out, without spoilers, depending on when the episodes get released, like, did the writer change, in between the mid-season again? And they were just like, we have to wrap up this Negan thing. Let's just, do an episode about it and get him back in the cell, right? Which is heartbreaking. I don't care, whatever. Okay.
Well, if they're, again, to script doctor a show that's already done, this might be a good moment during Alpha's speech to be like, we've got Negan, we've got fucking little ass kicker, we've got Luke and other person. And that would be cool if they picked them up on the road.
What?
How did you, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next
How'd
episode...
you know we call her little ass kicker?
We've been watching you for a long time.
Yeah.
And then next episode, you might be able to get some cool stuff with, like, Negan in there, like, oh, I'm not trapped here. You're trapped here with me.
You're trapped in here with me.
Thing.
Suddenly has a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No, he'll notice one of the zombies uses a bat. Is that a bat?
Is that Lucille?
Is that bat made of what?
Oh, yes. That would be... I love that so much.
Yeah.
I hoped for and expected, right? Because the whole thing was taking shape. We have these spooky zombies out there. Jesus is dead. This is happening. That's happening, right? Negan's outside the walls with Judith. They don't have transportation to get somewhere quickly. They're vulnerable, right? I thought something was going to happen, and that was going to bring the communities to together again, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's no point in doing this show if you're not cooking up a plot to bring the communities back together. right? And the communities just were together because we did something, but that was like last half of the season, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that is always the direction that you go in.
To just real quick to address back to the point of Negan could totally just be in prison again, is that like if you think about how they got rid of Maggie, they can do anything.
I know.
Like
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I will just retroactively or like proactively say I hate that.
sure, no,
Because
hatred acknowledged.
I liked the episode where he was out there wandering. Negan the Wanderer was fine for me. I liked that.
I would have left it at him wandering.
Yes.
And then like 4 episodes later, at some crucial point when things seem hopeless, Negan swoops in like a fucking angel.
Exactly. So again, not to like script or screenplay doctor a show that is already done and I hate, but like take all those scenes of Negan's thing, but spread them out over a few episodes.
Yeah, show me 30 seconds of Negan here, a minute and a half there,
like
him fighting some dogs.
Yeah, no, literally, like each set piece, like the dogs, maybe put that as he's leaving instead of as he's getting to the sanctuary, right? Have the first part of the sanctuary, just cook up some stuff, have some elsewhile things happen. Again, like I don't like when a show is cheap and has cliffhangers for no reason and baits me into worrying about something that's not real. But also, don't start and then stop something in the same episode when I've been waiting for that thing to happen for months, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I also would have liked him to see the motorcycle, try to start the motorcycle and go, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't leave a motorcycle sitting for 6 years. Huh.
No, have him like quote unquote fixing up the motorcycle. Have him catching rats and eating rats. Right? Have him trying to do his thing. He like arranges the furniture. Have him be like, is he crazy? Is he, does he actually think he's recapturing his old thing? What's happening? Have him run into like a savior who's alive or that guy who is dead again, whatever. Have something happen. Do some stuff. And then, he realizes he has to move on. And that whole thing about him vomiting after the stream or running out of food, have him get progressively more desperate as he has to go through stuff, right? Have stuff like the dogs, stuff like the zombies. Have him get woken up in the middle of the night by zombies and freak out and then lose more of his like stuff that he tried. Like have him find a bat, have him find a jacket, have him fix up his bike, but then progressively have those things taken away.
I would
and have him wandering on the road like, oh man, I've lost everything. I suck, right?
Over 7 episodes, him repeatedly having to run away from dogs. And like I killed one this time, or blah blah blah. This happened.
Like a pack of dogs.
A pack of dogs, yeah. And by the end, it's like him and a dog.
Yeah.
And like it's his friend now.
Yeah. And he has the dogs thing or whatever. Yeah. If Daryl didn't have a dog, that would be like actually perfect to do that.
No. It would be for the season finale. It's Daryl versus Negan, and the dogs
and
are
the dogs
fighting
too.
Yeah.
It's like in Transformers when the 2 Transformers that have tapes inside of them,
Yeah.
they're fighting, but also their little tape Transformers are fighting. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, no, I'd watch that.
I'd watch it twice.
I'd watch it.
So to the actual.
Okay, the actual show that exists.
What is the daughter's name?
Lydia.
So,
I know that because of Beetlejuice.
Huh. So Lydia has been, captured. She's been in a cell for quite some time now. Adjacent to her is Carol's son, Henry.
I wrote that down too.
And like like the whole time, I knew he was not involved.
Yeah, it
in
sucks.
Because you needed that betrayal moment. Yeah, fuck you.
I know.
You're not my real dad. Like type of thing.
And, I just tuned all that out. I forgot all that happened.
No, you needed that. I knew that was happening. And then. Daryl's listening to the whole thing. He's taking his stuff, and the moment that he mentioned the kingdom, I was like, "Well, you got to stop him from talking now." And like almost
and
on
Daryl
the
runs
moment,
down the stairs. Yeah.
I was like, he's giving away the fucking precious details because in my head she was gonna escape, and I was actually they subverted my expectations when she didn't escape, and I liked that the baby crying is what snapped her out because she's actually like, no, there can be another world.
Yeah, pushed her over the edge.
They have babies here.
Yeah,
like we're not allowed to have babies,
right? We just find people and either kill them or add them to our herd of like fanatics. Yeah, I like.
Well, I picture a thing where it's going to flash back at some point to somebody who is pregnant in her group getting killed.
Yeah,
because we can't have crying babies. It'll throw off our whole thing. And like Mr. Timekeeper guy is like, no.
I hope they make a dumb character out of Pocket Watch Zombie.
We'll see.
I feel like that was just internet window dressing.
You think?
I'm worried about it.
I don't think.
I hope so.
No, I think there's going to be.
I would love to see it, but I don't know because it hasn't. Well, we'll see what happens. But I would, I'm open to it. No, so she's mentioned like, well, she beats me because, if you get soft, people pay. It's like this whole thing, right? There's this like.
There's a bit of truth to that.
Sure.
But to me, that would be like being disciplined and not being disciplined. Like.
Okay, I like it.
You know?
Yeah, so I like the whole thing.
Or having discipline.
Her like finding the little hook or whatever, and then attacking down, him being like bitch, and like we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm awesome, right? And her going and all that
Well,
stuff,
I was
right?
like, oh, are we gonna see her pick the lock now? Because everyone knows how to fucking pick locks. And I was
Right.
like, oh no, she's gonna try to fucking scratch
yeah,
him.
she's gonna like
Oh,
try
okay.
to get him or whatever. Yeah. What you know? But like that. That's all fine for me. It all works for me. I like that he was like, no, we're not doing that, right? And the whole thing where he tried to give her water, and then later he gives her water and she actually drinks it and all that stuff,
Yeah.
like the progression. But yeah, I agree with you. That that moment of her going for the hammer, and I was like, well, this obviously is it is not happening, but I wonder why it's not going to happen, right? And then it was.
I didn't think she was gonna die.
Yeah, okay,
I
sure.
thought she would knock him out, and then she'd be
Right.
escaped, and then like,
Okay.
like, oh no, and then like Henry would have to live with the idea that those bastards would be able to ransack the fucking kingdom because the kingdom's, I think, less fortified than they are here.
Wouldn't that have been a good plot where like now he has to figure out like, oh no, I told him about the kingdom and like we have to go, but there's people from this camp who are being held hostage, so like they don't want to go to try to save them right now, and we don't know how many of them there
There's
are.
a lot of things that could have been great.
Right? Wouldn't that have been a cool thing that you would do there? Yeah, but the baby crying moment was great. And then like to have her say, "Put me back in the cell."
Yeah.
Not like we have to
Well, I think
leave or
'cause
go.
she knows
right? Yeah.
that like, all right, I am on the fucking brink of holding this shit together.
Yeah.
You better lock me up right now, or you might fucking die.
Yeah.
I like that. I think there'll be a moment at some point where she kills her mother to save Henry, or some bullshit's gonna happen.
Okay.
Something like that. If they don't follow my advice and mow them down right in the fucking
I
front
doubt
lawn.
next
They're
episode
not
will
gonna do
begin
that.
with them
No.
mowing them down.
Do you
I would like
understand?
that.
Do you understand how
happy you'd
I
be?
would? Oh man, I would clap. I would stand.
Yeah.
And I would clap.
Sure. No, you would call me. I'd have to go over. We'd have to high five at any time of the day or night.
It would be wonderful.
Other things that I called out. So when he lets her out, I was a little like, "What? This is ridiculous." And I thought that might be a plan. I'm always giving them too much credit,
Nah.
because wouldn't it be a neat reveal that everything was planned and like we as the audience were concerned that Henry was like falling in love with her, but really he was just like doing stuff on purpose and all that stuff. Wouldn't that have been neat?
I just ate a worm.
So I really liked her erotically like,
Licking the dirt off the worm for him.
sucking the worm clean to give to him, and then him eating it. I'm like, okay, that's basically first base in the apocalypse. That's fine. We're doing
Yep.
great, guys.
It makes sense that they would, Timon and Pumbaa their way into life, because where are they getting food?
Exactly.
While they're fucking walking around with zombies.
Yes,
They're not.
exactly. One might say it makes no sense, but I'm not going to go into that. It's totally fine.
No, that does make sense. That like.
There's not going to be like, I don't know if there's enough opportunities or time to get enough food because
Well,
zombies
I
don't
think
sleep.
I
so,
think it's
like,
simple
what would you
that
do?
zombies also don't turn around. So as long as you just go slower than they do, you get behind them
and you eventually
and you just do
sneak
whatever you
away
want.
or whatever. I know, but it's such like a tenuous existence that I could never see myself getting on board with it or whatever.
It wouldn't be hard to catch back up to them. Like it's something you could do if you figured out the exact patterns.
Yeah.
You got pretty good. I think you could survive.
It's kind of
that
a
way.
brutal trial and error period, though. But I'm
Certainly.
down. I would much prefer.
Well, the trial and error would be like with like one or two, and then you'd be like, you'd get ballsy and
you get
die,
used to it.
and-
Yeah, you get ballsy and get killed because you sneeze because like you're a human being. Don't worry about it.
Well,
it's fine.
the trick is that's the sneeze. You gotta
Yeah.
hide it into a grumble.
Okay, but then why can't the guy that got the arrow through his leg just be grumbling? Why do they know he's not a human?
Well, he
zombie now?
didn't handle it very well. He went, oh my god, my leg! Ah!
Yeah, but if the mask is fooling them I'm not. We're not gonna.
If he
we're
would
not
have
gonna do
gotten
this
shot
again.
and went, he might have been okay.
I hope so.
But he like fell to the ground flailing. He was a bitch
I know, right?
when he took that shot to the artery.
He should have taken that when he was shot with a crossbow, and it's like the meat of like the leg. Like, oh god. I liked because I hated when they lay next to each other and they hold hands through the bars.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right.
Are they falling in love? Like, what's happening? How old is
He
she?
is.
How old is he? Is she a master manipulator? Is he a master manipulator?
She's
Why
not a
are we
master.
doing this?
She's certainly a manipulator. He's definitely actually falling for her, and it's the apocalypse thing where it's like, okay, there's 3 girls that are roughly my age.
Yep.
2 of them are spoken for. You're the other one.
And
I got nothing
and
else.
the third one is you.
Yeah. And that's it.
Is a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he wants anything, that's what he has to take.
Hey, hormones.
Because there is no guarantees that there are even any other girls that age in the world. So like
listen, I get it, but as a plot for a show, I'm just like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that there's been enough stuff demonstrated. I don't know if I know Henry enough to know. We had that thing with him and Carol and traveling to see Daryl and then looping back through and stuff. So we've seen some stuff with him, but I don't know if I understand him enough to know if this is his thing, right? Like he's there to learn how to be a blacksmith to like save his like community or whatever.
He's doing a bang up job there, Chief.
Well, he's trying to fill his schedule with some other activities.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole thing, about them being a thing, or how this is going to play into the whole story. Because she's going to be like, well, I don't want to go back. No, this is like a real place. And her mom's going to be like, I told you, there's no such thing as a real place. And then he's going to do something dumb or something smart. Like, what do they want him to do at this point?
I don't know if smart is on the table.
I guess not.
But we'll see.
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, am I meant to think he's falling he's falling for her so that he will now do something dumb, and then like the rules of like the world should have him paying for that in some way, right?
Or someone he cares about paying for it.
So he's paying for it indirectly,
if you just
right?
think so far, just from him knowing her for a day and a half, he's only done stupid things. Yeah. He's revealed information he shouldn't have. He let her out of her cell. He shouldn't have done that.
Real bad move.
So I see no reason the trend to stop, especially if he's getting some worm love now.
Let's see why the stupid train would grind to a halt.
No.
He's not going to get his clean worms anymore. No, there's parts of all that I liked, though. I liked Daryl, kind of watching them, kind of like keeping an eye on it still, too. The worm thing's goofy, but I liked it. Like you said, it like sheds some light on something.
Sure.
Right? Without literally just having someone literally just tell me about it, right? It was nice to have a dumb little thing like that.
Yeah, they're survivors.
He's like, we have biscuits. What are you doing? Right? Like a whole thing. Yeah.
That would have been my line, like when she went to give me the worm in the first place. Yeah. I would have been like, I could get you an apple.
Yeah, we have like other stuff.
You pulled that out of a patch of garden. That's tomatoes right there. Like, what do you?
Yeah, right. Like, why do you think there are worms here? Yeah, it's pretty great.
I probably would have done one of those. Like, oh,
that would have been so much better. I would have loved that absolutely so much.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be sitting here eating worms.
Okay. Anything else with Lydia or that whole storyline? I feel like we've missed some minor we've missed some minor details, but now Alpha is there. The episode was called Omega. Get it?
Yeah.
Whatever. So Alpha's there demanding her daughter back.
Yeah, her mom is kind of a bitch.
Well, from all the flashbacks, we see now how all that stuff goes.
Yeah. And they're in a poorly advised group with no real leader. She kind of like took that position in there. They had never seen, that's the whole when you die you become a zombie period thing. Knowing that, you're like, oh God, this is gonna be bad for you, and then that guy comes back to life.
Oh yeah, in the other part of it, right?
Yeah, because they don't know that. No one would believe that.
It was early days, right? There were still riots outside and stuff, and like they were holed up somewhere in the shelter or whatever, right?
Yeah, in the basement of some building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they were there for 23 days. I'm like, how much food did they have down there? That's actually impressive because there was at least like 10 of them.
Yeah, and I wonder, so like the group they have now, I wonder how they got those people, because it's not all those people from the original thing.
No, it's none of them.
Right. So
I believe just her and her mom escaped that building and everyone else died. Yeah.
So I don't know like how do they add to their group? Well,
I don't know.
Maybe they'll tell us more. I'm interested.
Yeah, because it can't even just be finding survivors because they don't seem to be keen on inviting people in.
No, it's weird.
Very strange.
I would like some more background about this, and I'm not sure how they're going to give it to me. Because they even had a girl show up to explain everything, and I'm not satisfied yet.
No.
So I don't know what other tricks they could have up their sleeve. But
well, she made a thing about Daryl, and I think they're going to try to take Daryl or something. Or
what do you mean?
She made a comment like, you're more of like us than them, blah,
You're
blah,
not like
blah.
these people.
So
you know it.
Maybe they do a thing where when they ransack a group and they kill all the weak, in quotes, they try to take the strong with them.
Yeah.
And I imagine in most scenarios, if your options are dead or join, you're probably joining.
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, so maybe we'll get an exposition thing there, like if he gets clubbed in the back of the head and taken at some point, and they're like, we've survived from millennia, doing blah, blah, and some Colonel Sanders-ass guy.
We just wander around. That's why you never heard of us before, because we're this wandering tribe of crazy zombies. We came from Montana. Yeah, I would predict that, right? So we got Henry, but I love her, and her like, we never loved you. Ma, that's the one I told you about. He's cool. He's got like a vest, his leather, his awesome long hair.
Yeah.
And then they do the whole thing. Okay, got it. Looking forward to seeing it all
And they
next
kill his dog.
Oh yeah, and then he's John Wicking it.
You know it.
Hell yeah. Okay.
All right, guys, that's our thoughts on this episode. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.